Hola, man, Dangerous Moonwalker here, and this is not gonna be your average video. This is going to be a story time video, one that I've been holding back on for a while now, with all the violence and school shootings and just terrorist attacks and shootings and all that type of stuff going around the world. I thought it was about time that I shared a story with you guys. I'm not saying that you do this because this story for me is a true story, and it actually kind of went backwards at one point for me. So I just started my seventh grade year, and everything was going smoothly until this one kid. He was short, and so he started messing with me, and so I started playing it off until he started stalking me and started spreading rumors about me. And so that's when I started to take a little bit of notice to this. So I was like, dude, you mind laying off? And I was a chill kid, and I didn't really, I wasn't really the type to really get that upset that much about little things. So I was like, dude, you mind chilling out a little bit? I don't really like the fact that you're messing with me and stuff like that. And so he was like, I'll do whatever the hell I want. So I'm like, excuse me? And so he was like, I'll pick on you for as much as I want. So he joined my chorus class. Like like as a pastime, like after school. And so he started trying to mess with me there. And so my teacher, she thought it was me that was being the bully. And so I called my grandmother, and so we were getting ready to go, and so I explained what happened. So his mother showed up, and she was like, "Is this the little motherfucker that was messing with you, little JJ?" And he was faking tears. He was like, "Yeah, mommy, that's the one that was calling me all the mean names." And so I'm like, and so me and my grandmother, we were looking at each other. We were like, and so she was like, "We're gonna press charges on you." She was this short little fat black lady who had this obvious fake fire red weave in her head, and she looked like she just came up from the project. And the same day that this happened, he found out my Facebook information and he sent a friend request to me, and I was like, oh my god, he found out who I am. So I and so she was so I and so she was like, we gonna press charges on you. He's been harassing my son, beating him up and like that. We want some money from you. We want some money. And my grandmother, she curses like a sailor. I'm not gonna lie. That's just in her nature, even if it's just a normal conversation. And so she got out the car and she told me to just get on my phone and just do whatever. I did so, and so all I know is that they were both yelling. So I eventually got the car at one point. And so I was like, and so I started shouting at the kid who was messing with me. And I can't remember how the altercation ended. Like, hold on, I'm thirsty real quick. I don't remember how the altercation ended, but all I know is that he stopped messing with me. Everything was okay. And then there was this one dude who I had my history and chemistry class with. He was openly gay, and so he started hitting on me. And I'm not gonna say exactly what he said to me on the first day, but he grabbed a pair of scissors. You remember that one episode? I don't know if y'all watch Amazing World of Gumball, but if y'all do y'all remember this one episode from when Jamie, she would take two items and just make up something random and say that she was gonna do this to one of the characters? He literally grabbed I can't remember if it was a bottle of lotion or hand sanitizer or glue or something like that, and then he grabbed a pair of scissors. And so He was like, I'm gonna turn you around, and so I'm gonna just go snip, 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 and I'm gonna just all over, and I'm like, dude. So I was on the floor. No, I wasn't on the floor. Like I saw on the floor, and so I was like, is this too serious? And so it got to the point where he started hitting on me more and more, and I was like, dude, I don't know how many times I have to tell you I'm not gay. And he said, well, I'm gonna make you gay. And I'm like, no, no, that's never gonna happen. I know I'm attractive, but I'm attractive only for the women. And I'm like, well, I'll become a woman then. And I'm like, is that even physically possible? And he's like, yes, in some cases. There's that one transgender girl in our school, and I'm like, well, we never really figured out if this one girl in our school was transgender or not, if she was a cross dresser or something like that. I think her name was Korean or something like that, or maybe she was just a really ugly girl. But it got to the point where I said, you know what, I'm tired of this. Either we gonna fight or you gonna leave me the hell alone. And so so it was wintertime, so I put on my winter outside gear, and excuse me, I am so glad I put on my scarf because I threw a punch at him. I missed by 2 inches, and so he went up and punched me dead in my mouth. And I'm glad I had it on because it really kind of protected my mouth. And I just walked off, and so I told my grandmother what happened. I lied. They showed the security camera. I got grounded. She took away my phone. She took away my iPad. And then, like, I got grounded so much that year that I actually found ways to keep some of my stuff hidden so I could start playing with it. I started playing on my Wii U. Then she took that away. Started playing with my Wii. She took away my Wii remote. Had my 3DS and my DSi. I kept that hidden for so long because I would only use it on road trips. She found that and took that. So now I had nothing but the TV remote. Then she took away the damn TV remote. So now I would just come home, watch whatever she's watching on TV, and then just go back, just go to sleep, day in and day out. The only time that she will let me use my phone is to play Pandora when I would listen to music at night to help me fall asleep, because I would actually get really irritated by natural sounds at night, like the ticking of a clock, and I'm not really fazed by the air conditioner running, but I remember I had this fan in my room at my mom's house when I'm staying in now, and one of the things was too short and it would actually hit up against the cover that would protect the light bulb, and that would drive me crazy for hours. So I eventually put a string on it. Now I can barely hear it. But it's kind of like my OCD that I can't stand. So anyway, got rid of him. He was no longer a problem. So there was one dude I had enough with getting harassed and stuff like that. I don't know what happened to this one dude, but I remember he would used to just get on me literally, like every time he saw me, he would do something. Y'all remember that? If any of y'all seen the Polar Express, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all remember that little white blonde guy who lived across the track, literally lived across the track. He was a fat version of him. Billy. Yeah, he was a fat version of Billy. That's his name. I can't remember what his name was. I think his name was Carl. I can't remember what his last name was, but I remember his name was Carl. So I remember one day I was going to my grandmother's car so I can get in and she could drive me home because we lived like a block away from my school. And I remember she had a shocked face, a little bit of shocked face, and I was like, what? And so this dude, he literally did the leapfrog game where you would like hop over somebody. He literally did this to me, and if it wasn't for my rolling book bag and the handle that I had in my hand, I would have had whiplash. She got out the car and she had just had surgery. She wasn't even supposed to be on the road. She came hobbling over, and this dude, he started running. And by that time, I was about ready to freak out. I was ready to freak out, but I didn't. Lord knows what happened to her. But so this other guy who used to pick on me got solved the previous problem. Solved the problem with this dude afterwards. So it was a time where one of those was popular. So he smacked my shoes this one day. Excuse me. And so it was this one time where one of those was popular. So he smacked my shoes. He doesn't normally do that. So I started chasing him. And so I was right behind him where he like elbowed me, and I went about like 6 to 8 feet back into a cinder block wall. And all I know is that I couldn't breathe properly in one of my lungs. Like it felt like liquid was going in and out. And and so we solved that problem. I was upset about that. He got suspended. He didn't mess with me no more. And a little bit tired. And well, really fix that issue. And I remember there was this one dude who I was friends with. Him. I hooked him up with one of my other friends who he liked, and she liked him too. And I don't know how he was turned against me, but all I know is that he came behind me one day. We were done with testing, and he punched me in the back of the head. And for the life of me, I don't know why I didn't retaliate, but I just turned around with my teacher. Me and her were really cool, and she gave me a magazine of Ronald Reagan and President Obama at the end of the year. And well, we pressed charges against him. I will regret that for the rest of my life. He got expelled, went to an alternative school, and eventually his girlfriend dumped him. And here's where the funny part happened. She became a lesbian afterward. I was like, I was like, dude, you serious that you're a lesbian? And she was like, yeah. So what? And I'm like, I don't have a problem with it, but for real. And hold on. And so I said to her, "How's Ashton doing?" So she's like, he still wants to apologize. I'm like, well, that's never gonna happen because I'm still upset. So I remember my best friend. She thought I said something about this tall girl in our grade, and she thought his milk carton was empty. She went and threw it at me. And, oh my God! And I took so much pride in my hair, and I didn't let nobody except my barber touch my hair and me. And my curls had fell out. Like I had a mini Jerry curl. Like I made my makeshift Jerry curl. Like I just had normal hair, and I just kind of made it curl itself. And all I know is that I skipped class because I couldn't handle the embarrassment. She apologized. She didn't know. And then another time, this dude, I don't know how he got to me, but all I know is that he gave me a wet willy, and I was like, ugh, fucking gross. And for the life of me, I'm still traumatized about duck sauce. So I remember this one time, this dude, he threw duck sauce on me, like being rude as fuck. And then this one dude, he was trying to get this ketchup packet open. He didn't mean to, so he was like, "This thing won't open." And so, yeah, you can imagine what happened. So it basically got all over me. People started laughing at this point. I had enough. So I literally lunged myself across the table and I started beating the living hell out of him. I was tired. I was tired of it. But if it wasn't for the grace of God, Michael Jackson's music, and my grandmother, I would have been led down a dark path, which I was for a long time to the point where I became popular. And so the same guy that was in my chorus class that I told you about with the mother that was acting all ignorant, I started harassing him, and so people started to respect me. And so I started harassing him. I was being funny as hell, and I started getting respected. And I had me a girlfriend, and I had a bunch of girlfriends, like like friends that are girls that hang around me. Like everybody respected me. And so this one dude, the gay dude that tried to hook up with me, he tried to hook up with me again. And so I basically went up and punched him in the back of his head. I got suspended. I got suspended. Now I'm really into drawing, so I was using my Michael Jackson drawing collection. I was working on "You Are Not Alone," and so my teacher, she went up and she came up to me and she was like, "No, no, Jonathan, do your work first." And she took it from me. So I was like, "Oh hell no!" And so I wrote on an index card, "Kiss my ass, Miss Pickering." And I didn't know how the gay dude found it, but I just wrote it out of anger. I put it inside my desk. He found it. I went to the bathroom. I came back, and he was at the desk. I thought he was snitching on me about something, and he did. And so she came and she was like, "Here, take your drawing kit." And she was like, "Get the hell out of my class. Get the hell out of my class." And so I was like, "What the hell did I do? What did I do?" And so she literally pushed my chair outside, and I'm not gonna lie, she was a beautiful teacher. Like everybody had eyes on her. And so I got suspended over something that I didn't mean to get out to her. It was just out of anger. I was like, "That ain't my handwriting." And so she was like, "What left-handed there was only a small marginal percent of left-handed people in this school, and I am left-handed. That write like this. You're the only one that uses double white-sided index cards with no lines." I was like, "Okay, you got me." And so I literally had to switch classes. I had to change my English class twice that year. My first English teacher, she was like, "I'm sorry, Jonathan. If everybody else is changing, I have to go along with it. I didn't want to do it." And so I called somebody a bitch in my other English class. And so the teacher heard it. I got in school suspension. You don't know how many times I got in school suspension that year. In school suspension. Oh my God, I was just like a little rebel. I was like, "You know what? Fuck you." I was like flipping the bird. I was like, "Fuck you, fuck you." You know what? I don't care. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. And so I was like one of the most popular kids, if not the most popular guy in school. So my third English class, I love this teacher to death, and I still talk to her. Um, I felt amazing. After after I became the most popular kid, and so every time I would pass by this one teacher, the one that I wrote that note to on accident that I didn't mean to get out, she would always look the other way and keep on walking. And so I was like, "I feel like I have control." And so I found her Facebook information, and I don't regret this not one bit. I started like getting on her, and I was like literally like, you know, you should really get a haircut. And her hair was really long and fine. I didn't think that she was gonna do it, but she got a damn haircut. I'm not playing. She got a haircut. I feel like I had control. I was dead laughing. She didn't even tell nobody. And so when I moved to another so when I moved down to South Carolina, I wrote her another email. I got suspended. It was the last few days of school and I got suspended. Hey, you live and you learn. I was a sophomore. I mean I was a freshman. Anyway, you live and you learn and you forget and you forgive. Excuse me. So my seventh grade year ended. I was at the top. I ended up having to go to this buck ass school. It was they called it Davis Middle School. They had to change the name from Jefferson Davis Middle School. I know, and they named it the Bulldogs, and their motto was the Bulldogs. And I was like, I told my grandmother, I'm not going to this Confederate ass middle school. Bull, this is bull honky. And so I literally said, I'm not going to this Confederate buck ass middle school. And so she was like, Jonathan, watch your mouth or you'll be grounded. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to go here. They literally have a painting of Jefferson Davis in the library. You expect me to go to a school that has that in the middle of the room? And so we argued, and so she was like, Jonathan, I don't want no more problems with the last school that you went to. Now you are going here and you're gonna act right. Lord have mercy. I ain't never seen so many black kids. No offense to my own race, but I ain't never seen so many black kids in just that school just acting so rowdy. The school that I went to was a governor's school in my seventh grade year. So I had went to three schools in 1 year because I had moved that year. So I so I remember one day this dude threw a glue stick at the back of my neck and something snapped in me. I wasn't cool anymore. Like I had lost my cool literally. Like I snapped and I'm not gonna lie when I say this. I went ham and I'm not afraid to say it. I literally stood up at the end of class. It was the end of class and I knocked over my chair and I put all my stuff away, like before even class is over, and I threw my all my stuff aside and I started throwing desks everywhere. I actually hurt three people, three people in the hands. I hurt three people's hands. Well, that's all I know. I got suspended for 2 weeks, and I felt like I got a lot. My shirt is stuck. That's why I don't like sitting at this pub table. So I threw desk chairs. One of them actually went out of a window. I broke a window, and so nobody knew who the guy was because everybody was scared as hell. And so somebody asked me one day. It was one of my best friends. He asked me, "Yo, did you hear about that guy that started throwing desks in school?" And I was like, "I don't know. I know him. I know him." And I was like, "We we both have some issues." And so this dude, he was like, "Oh shit, that was you." And I was like, "Yeah, so what? People piss me off." And I asked one of my teachers, was she Muslim? And at this time, I was a patriotic American. Like at this time, before I became a gay rights activist because of River Gibbs, I was like, I want to change my class. I don't want you to show up one day. And she was black too. I don't want you to show up one day and you have a bomb strapped to you. I don't feel safe around you. And so everybody started looking at me, and all the white people in the class, they was like, yeah, you tell her. And I was being serious because I didn't feel safe around her like that because I still don't feel safe around Muslims altogether. Well, just the ones that wear the funny the scarves on their heads and the stuff that they usually wear in Saudi Arabia and Pakistan and Iran and Afghanistan, all that stuff. So I gained respect, and so I'm trying to remember. I asked this one girl out, and I became instantly popular. I don't know how, but she didn't even acknowledge me. And so we were in PE classes, so we were doing our laps, and so I just went up to her and I just gave her the bird. I gave her the mega bird. And I was like, "Fuck you, you whore piece of shit." And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I said." And she just looked at me like, "This just happened." I was like, "Yeah, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I dare you to say what you're gonna do. Come on, throw it at me." I wasn't afraid of nothing. I wasn't afraid of no authority. But there was one dude in the school that can actually calm me down, and I was one of the resource officers. I still talk to him to this day. His name is Mr. Odin. Otis Odin. Otis or Odin. Yeah, his name was Odin. But when I was a Richie, I remember they said they were gonna make us walk all around the thing for like the entire period, and they told us certain things, and I was like, oh hell no! And so I took off, like I had a religious cross around my neck, like it was a necklace, and I had a cross around it, and so I was like, oh hell no! And so I took it off, and I was like, the power of Christ compels you, and everybody started laughing like crazy, and so it was like, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? I'm sorry. Am I just talking to myself? Am I talking to a brick wall? I'm asking who said that. Everybody got 20 laps, and so after I got pissed and I was like I stopped and everybody was like go, and so I was like, you know what? Nobody walked. I'm gonna handle this. I went up. I walked to the teachers and I was like, and they were like, can we help you? And I was like, yeah. We're not gonna fit. We're not finna do 60 laps around this damn gym. Now give us something fun to do. I'm not playing. And so I was like, come here, come here. I got something to say. You remember the guy that threw the desk? That was me. I can do a lot worse. Why don't we just play something fun like dodgeball? Or why don't we just play some music and just chill out? And you give some soda and some pizza and some ice cream and some desserts. Yo, they were phased by it, but they had to go. But they had to go by the school rules. And so, and so I was like, you know what? Try me. I dare you. Try and grab me. Go ahead. Touch me. I dare you to try. I dare you to try and tell me to go to the principal's office. I dare you. Look into my eyes and see what you see. Look into my eyes and look at them real good. What do you see? Like I had that evil eye look. I was like, look hard and look real good. And so this was all before I had a major change. And I ended up, because of the desk incident, I can't remember what I did. Oh yeah, I pissed off one of the teachers. I was like, why don't you grow a pair and send me to the principal's office? Huh? Grow a pair. Make me go. You ain't gonna make me stand up and go. Like, I was literally defying authority. I was like, why don't you go ahead and call them. I'm not scared by the resource officers. They can hold a taser or a gun to my face, and I ain't gonna move. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, through me, you can never kill me. Sue me, sue me. Everybody do me, kick me, keep me. Don't you black or white me. Come on, do it. Do it. Now I ended up having to go to downtown to the school office. And I went on trial, and I don't know how many times, because I saw that South Park episode with Michael Jackson, and I was like, why not just use this in my case? And I was like, so allegedly, I started throwing desks around. Allegedly, because this is not true. It's neither true or it's not true, but it's also true. Allegedly, I did this. And so the lady, she was like, can you please stop using the word allegedly? Do you even know what allegedly means? Yes. I'm being accused. I didn't do it. And so she was like, you're not taking this seriously, are you? Allegedly, I'm taking this seriously, but allegedly, I'm not. And I was like, and she was like, young man, are you just gonna waste my time, or are you just gonna waste my time with your crap, or can we get on with this? And my grandmother, she was in the room. She was like, I'm sorry, he has some issues, and I'm like, damn right, I have some issues. I should either be in school right now, or I should be at home playing some fucking video games. And so she was like, I see what his issue is. Yeah, we're gonna send him to this new school in Newport News, and it changed my life. I'm not gonna lie. The moment that I stepped in, someone pissed me off, and so the teacher got up on me, and they literally had the right to put their hands on me. There was this one teacher, I tried to push her up against the wall to show my authority, and so she was like, hey, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna put your hands on me. You're not gonna try and show your authority. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck did you do? She's like, I heard that. You're going in the quiet room. I'm like, the quiet room? What am I, 5? And so she put me in there, and it was literally a padded room, and I couldn't leave for like a certain amount of time until I cooled down. But my homeroom teacher, she changed my life. If it wasn't for her and her rat Basil, I think I would have still been the same person that I would have been instead of who I am today. And her name is Miss Bowditch. Because of her, I'm a changed person and a changed man. I was only there for a month, and I enjoyed every moment of it. Everybody was going through something, and I wasn't the only one feeling left out. I felt like I belonged somewhere, and I hated to leave. I still talk to everybody there, but moral of my story is no matter how much shit you go through, everybody has a choice, and everybody has a chance to change. Don't go down the path that I've gone down. Whether it's emotional or physical scars, you still have a chance to cross that finish line. You'll make it one day. Don't do what I've done. My life is on the right track. I saved myself just in time. with that being said, this is the end of my vlog. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up my plans for the 25th special, which I'm not telling anybody about what I'm going to do. You'll have to wait and see. But anyway, Dangerous Moonwalker, signing off with love.